Welcome back to FM Storey as we're about to embark on season 13 of our save where we try to end the dominance of Celtic and Rangers in Scottish football. I feel like that we have pretty much ended the dominance now. We just need to establish our own dominance. For the second season in a row, we're actually going to be playing in a new stadium. And we've had an eventful summer, both in the transfer market and also in trying to hang on to our coaching and scouting staff. So without further ado, let's have a look and see what happened in the summer. Before we get into what happened in the summer, just to go back to what we mentioned in the intro about our second season in a new stadium. So we moved into the new Ian St John Arena last season, and for the whole season we sold 99% of the capacity for the season. So the board have decided, after one season in the new stadium, that they're going to enlarge the stadium by 12,000 seats. So that'll take it to, I think it's 36,000 capacity. Presumably that means they're going to fill in the corners of the ground that weren't filled in the new stadium. It's going to cost 22 million. It's going to take 15 months. I think the idea was that it's going to be finished for the beginning of September 2036. So the beginning of September next season. And so whilst work is being done, we're actually moving to Hampden Park and renting Hampden Park for the season. So, as we said, one of the big issues we had in the summer was holding on to staff as well as players. So you can see from this that the Premier League clubs have come for our staff big time. We have lost so many members of staff. And we've brought in a few replacements. There's actually more that they actually wanted as well, in that we actually managed to get some of the staff to sign new contracts. And then in terms of outgoings from the playing staff, we've sold some players. We've sent a lot of players out on loan. Shane Lackland's a player that came through our youth intake a couple of seasons ago. I don't think he's anywhere near any of the players, or has the potential to be anywhere near any of the players we've currently got. So he's gone to Celtic. Gabriel Fleck hasn't really done anything for us. He actually had a decent season for Dundee United last season, but again, isn't good enough to get into our starting lineup. So he's gone for 21 million to Nottingham Forest. And then what happened is we had a load of interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia for players. We turned down 2 offers that upset players. One of them was Alan Kerr, who we'd only just signed back 18 months ago after he had a disappointing spell at Barcelona. He came back to us. They made an offer for him, and then when we asked him what it would take to get him to commit his future to the club, he said he wanted £900,000 a week. Then the next one they came in for was Lewis Basauri. He said that he wanted £700,000 a week to commit to the club. In the end, we decided to sell him. We sold him to Bournemouth for 40 million, and he's had to settle for just £175,000 a week at Bournemouth. And then Dudu wasn't happy that we weren't letting him go, so he went to Aston Villa for 27 million. In terms of the incomings, we didn't do much. We did an early deal for Fernando Pascual, who was second on the NXG list for last season. Had him in a free release clause of 22.5 million. And I think he looks like he could be a key player for us, on either flank or certainly through the middle. We then picked up Saba Varga, Hungarian and Romanian nationality. Signed him as a centre-half from Puskas Academica. Really just as a potential centre-half for the future. He's only 18. Wasn't going to be ready for the first team. So he's gone out on loan to Livingston to get some first-team football. And then with the sale of Dudu, we were short at right back. So we went in with a big offer to Newcastle for Nikola Milosavljevic. 10 caps for Serbia, really good mentals, really good physicals, and hopefully he can prove to be a better player than Dudu. I mean, the first thing that it would need is just not picking up the yellow cards that Dudu picked up, because I think he picked up about 25 in the whole of last season. The board's expectation is to reach the Champions League proper, which we've done. Obviously, we're in the league phase. They want to win the league again. They want to win the Scottish Cup this time and win the Scottish League Cup. Now, that's different from what it has been the last 2 seasons, which is challenged, where they've wanted us to reach the semi-final. So obviously, I mean, we have won the Scottish Cup the last 4 seasons and 6 out of the last 8. We've failed to win the Scottish League Cup in the last 2 seasons. The league, I'm slightly concerned about, just purely because last season we had an almighty dip in form in November, and it nearly cost us the league. In the end, I think we won the league by 2 points from Rangers. We did start the summer as the favourites for the title. However, the sales of Basauri and Dudu appear to have taken us down the pecking order, and we are now second favourites at 9-5. Despite the fact that we've got 8 of the 11 in the Media Dream 11, obviously always the way, and despite the fact that we've won the league title for the last 4 seasons in a row. But hopefully we can get off to a decent start. We've got our first game of the season away at Ross County. We are missing a few players through suspension and injury. So hopefully we've still got enough to get a result in that game and put us into a decent start to the season. So let's have a look and see what happens in that game against Ross County. So this is the side we've picked for the opening day of the season. We do have a couple of injury issues, otherwise it's probably what we would pick as the starting lineup. San Martin is in at centre-half because Fayette's injured. D'Alessandro's in midfield because Dusink's injured. Otherwise, I think this is probably pretty much what we would start with as our first choice team. And hopefully it's good enough to go in and get a result away at Ross County. Right, they've gone long with the goal kick. Casanova, though, nods it down to Cochise. Nuevo in front of him. Back to the new boy at right back. Nuevo gives it away in the midfield, and now they're breaking. But Thibaut gets back to win it. Kerr to Nuevo. Kerr on the edge of the box. Past his defender. Fires it across the keeper into the top corner, and that is the perfect start to the season. And good to see that Kerr's not sulking because he hasn't got his move. Nuevo out to him, just pushes it past the defender, fires it across the keeper, and that's 1-0. Another long goal kick. This time they get it. They've still got it at the back. We nearly intercepted that one. We forced them to play it long, but they've still got it. Rackler, though, up to Casanova. He loses it on the halfway line, then they've gone long again. Milosavljevic with a header. And we've been sloppy on the ball in the last couple of minutes here. Thibaut back to Rackler. Into Goulis, who's just dwelled on the ball. And they're through. And luckily Medina stayed up long enough to be able to turn that behind. Nyarko with the corner. And San Martin rises at the near post to head it clear. But they've still got it. Nyarko in the box. Squares it. We've just about got it clear. Cochise bringing it forward. Back to Thibaut. Right, they've got a free kick now, half long down the line. Cochise gets across to pick it up, then plays it down the line to D'Alessandro, who's nudged off the ball, and now they've got it again. And we're not doing very well at keeping the ball here. And the Arkwood on the left-hand side, infield. They threw on goal. And that was just a abysmal play from start to finish from us. Just far too easy. Too many runners. And he fires it past Medina. Right, Gulish with the throw. And it's just straight to them, and we're just going to let them bring the ball forward again. Just, we're not getting close to them. And this is going to be another, we've just drifted out of the, oh my God. What on earth are we doing? We just let them drift and left a load of space. The ball comes across, keeper gets there because no one followed the defender in. Right, Fernandez-Vinitsky with the throw. Kerr back to him. Back to Kerr in the box. Pulls it back for Rackler. Gulis can't get the shot on target. Right, Rackler with the free kick to short to Fernandez-Vinitsky. D'Alessandro wide to Milisavljevic. His ball over the top's cut out, but Nuevo gets it. Milisavljevic again to Cochise. Trying to poke it into the box for Casanova, but that was just really bad. They've gone long from the goalkeeper. San Martin wins the header. Up to Casanova. Nuevo to D'Alessandro. Casanova's through. And he can't get a shot on target. Keeper turns it behind for a corner. I thought it had just gone over. Kerr with the corner short to Nuevo. Fires a low cross in. Comes to Kerr. It's been cleared. We're just doing stupid stuff. Right, Kerr with the corner. This time he swings it into the near post. Rackler gets his head on it. Can't get it on target. Goes over the top. And that basically sums up our first half so far. And there we go. Half time, 2-1 down, and just really, really bad. Right, we've made one change at half time. We've taken the skipper in. Our probably our best goal scorer off because he was dreadful in that first half, and brought on the youngster Pascual. Right, Nuevo with a free kick. Lifts it into the box. There's a header. Cochise knocks it home. We're going to get a VAR review, and I think it's probably going to be offside. Nuevo lifts the cross in. Rackler gets his head to it. And that didn't look anywhere near offside. Those lines look completely wrong. Fernandez-Vinitsky at the back. Bringing it forward. Kerr. Back to Rackler. Into D'Alessandro. Nuevo onto Cochise in the box. And the keeper does well to turn it behind for a corner. Cochise to take the corner. Lifts it into the near post. It's headed clear as far as Pascual. Out to Cochise. And it was offside. Fernandez-Vinitsky with the throw. Rackler back to him. Pulls it to the edge of the box to Pascual. What a finish on his debut that is. Outstanding from the youngster. Long throw for Fernandez-Vinitsky. Rackler just taps it back to him. Then Fernandez-Vinitsky pulls it to the edge of the box. First time on his left foot. Pascual hits it, gives the keeper no chance. And that's leveled the game up. We've run ahead a third of them on target. They've gone short with a free kick. Duffy, though, picks it up. On to Nuevo. Out wide looking for Kerr. It's headed away as far as Fernandez-Vinitsky. Duffy onto Kerr. Squares it for Pascual. And we're going to have to wait for a VAR review, but it looks like he's got a double on his debut. This goes out towards Kerr. Fernandez-Vinitsky into Duffy, who just plays it first time to Kerr. Takes a touch, rolls it into the box for Pascual. And he was the only one reacting. And he might have, on his debut, managed to rescue us from a horrific performance with a double on his debut. And there we go, full time, 3-2 victory. If you look at the match stats, it might look like it was a deserved victory, but we were so bad in that game. And if we want to come anywhere close to living up to the expectations the board have set for this season, we're going to need to be so much better than that going forward. We've made it to the end of September and things are going really well at the moment. We have lost one game in the league and one game in the Champions League, but we are top of the table. And that game in the Champions League was against Man City, who have a bit of an all-star team. After the opening day where we struggled to overcome Ross County, we managed to beat Aberdeen 2-0 at home in the next game. We beat Arbroath 3-0 in the second round of the League Cup. And then we went away to Ibrox and got a great 2-0 victory against Rangers. That was probably the first sign this season that things were starting to click. We then had a home game against Hibs where both players ended up with a player sent off. The Fire got sent off and then suspended for 3 games afterwards for a wild challenge. But we came away with the 1-0 victory. Hearts, we were truly atrocious. We were 2-0 down at half-time. We pulled a goal back. They scored again to go 3-1 up and we never looked like getting back on terms. But we immediately came back with a 6-1 victory against Kilmarnock. Man City was a pretty even game. Unfortunately, they got an early goal through Camavinga and we couldn't break through their defence. And then we got a 1-0 victory over Dundee United with a early goal from Alan Kerr. And then in the most recent game, we beat Napoli 3-0 in the Champions League. Really strong performance, particularly in the second half. We got 2 goals in 2 minutes to get us going. So as we said, we are top of the table. We're 2 points clear of Rangers. We were level on points with Rangers and they were actually top until the last league game where they'd picked up a draw. Hearts are in third on 15. Celtic only got 11 from 7 games. They've already lost 2 games this season. We don't really have any players in the top of the player stats apart from Juan Medina's picked up 4 clean sheets in 7 games, and we've got a couple of defenders in the top interceptions per 90 minutes. But things are going pretty well. We've got a game coming up next against Falkirk, who are bottom of the table with just 1 win this season. So hopefully we can end the month and end the episode on a high. This is the side we've picked for the game against Falkirk. We are missing Stefan Rackler, who picked up a bit of a knock in the last game. So he's been rested. San Martin's partner in the return in Faye, whose suspension's over. And Thibaut picked up an injury in the last game, so Damian Martinez has come in at left back. So we're going in with the 4-3-3. They're going in with a 4-3-3 with the defensive midfield. Hopefully we can get off to a decent start, seeing as they're bottom of the table with only 1 win out of 7 so far. Milosavljevic with a free kick. Nuevo back to him. Goes down the line and then loses out. And then they've given it back to the goalkeeper on the goal line. He's lumped it forward. And we've got a free kick. Probably a bit too far out to shoot. Dusink finds Kerr. His shot takes 2 deflections and goes behind for a corner. Kerr to take the corner. In-swinger with the right foot. It's headed up in the air. Cochise lifts it over. Casanova gets up above everyone, heads home. And that is exactly what we were looking for. A goal in 5 minutes against a team that are rock bottom of the table. And hopefully we can just coast through the rest of the game now and score a few more goals. Just lovely lifted ball by Cochise. 2 defenders miss it. The keeper's nowhere near it, even though it's only 3 yards out. And Casanova heads home. Right, another corner from the left. Kerr goes short this time. Cochise swings it across. It's headed up in the air. Nuevo brings it down. And then goes back to Damian Martinez, who comes forward with it. Down the left-hand side. Into Kerr in the box. Squares it. And Nuevo's shot was well held by the keeper. Right, Martinez with a throw. Goulis bringing it forward. Wide to Cochise. Back to Goulis. Out wide again, Cochise now. Surely that's a penalty. Looked like the defender just came into the back of him and kicked him as he was going past the other defender. And it's given. And Cochise to step up to look to double our lead. With his left foot, sends the keeper the wrong way, puts it in the top corner, and that's 2-0. And we're cruising in this game now. Lovely penalty. One that you're not going to save. San Martin to Martinez. Kerr loses out. And now they're breaking. They've got 4-on-3. But pick the poor pass. Dusink onto Kerr. Nuevo. Cochise gets deflected off the defender. Casanova puts it in. But I think he must have been offside there. Surely. He had to be offside when that pass was played by Cochise. And yeah, it's disallowed. Nuevo found Cochise and Casanova made the run. I think everyone probably thought Cochise was going for goal rather than passing there. Right, Goulis with the long throw. It's flicked on by Casanova. Headed clear. Casanova picks it up back to Goulis. Fayette to San Martin. Out to Martinez. Kerr now on the left-hand side. What a ball. And Casanova just drags it wide of that far post. And there we are. 2-0 up at half-time. Pretty comfortable. They've not really been a threat, but we probably should be more than 2 goals up as well. We've wasted some decent chances. Given how comfortable we are, we made a couple of changes at half-time. We've brought off Cochise and Casanova because they're key players. They've played an awful lot already this season. So we brought Thaler on down the right-hand side with the cross to the back post. What an impact already from him. As long as Kerr's managed to stay on side, or whether it was Thaler on the right. The other person we brought on is Pasquale up front instead of Casanova. Just to give some 2 youngsters some game time, but also rest the experienced players. And it's been disallowed. And Thaler looks like he'd gone a touch too early down the right-hand side. Milisavljevic, yeah, he should never have been offside. I mean, it's a great ball once he gets into that position. All right, corner taken short. Pasquale to Thaler. He loses that on the edge of the box, but San Martin wins it back. Goes down the outside, fires a low cross in. There's Pasquale at the near post to get another goal. And that's us 3-0 up in under an hour. We should be more up than that, but this is a pretty comfortable victory. It looks like it's going to be, unless something terrible happens in the second half. But San Martin just goes down the outside, gets to the byline, fires a low cross in, and Pasquale's the only one at the near post to turn it home. Right, Dusink bringing the ball forward on the left-hand side. Forward to Pasquale. He pulls it back to Dusink, who goes down, but Goulis fires from the edge of the box, and the keeper turns it behind for a corner. They've not quite got out, and the highlight's still going on, so either they're going to get a chance, or we're going to get the ball back. It looks like it's going to be them with the chance. Down the right-hand side. Cuts it in off that flank. Shot from the edge of the box. Medina looked like he just didn't see that there. And that's the first time they've looked threatening in any way, shape or form. Riley down the right-hand side. Cuts it in on his left foot. Just squares the ball to the edge of the D. Graham hits it. Medina doesn't move. And now we just need to make sure we don't do anything stupid in the rest of this game to kind of throw this one away. All right, corner for them this time. Lifted towards the centre of the box. Medina comes and claims it. And then rolls it out to Fayette. He finds Thaler down the right-hand side. He goes past his man. And then gets scythed down from behind by the player that gave away the penalty. And that's a straight red for a 2-footed lunge. Right, Martinez wins a header. Pasquale to Dusink. Duffy into Thaler in the box. Keeper turns it behind from a tight angle. Corner to be taken. Dusink to take it with his left foot. Goes short to Duffy, who squares it to Thaler on the edge of the box. Takes a couple of touches, then rifles it into the top corner at the near post. What a strike that was. And that's restored the 3-goal advantage. It's 4-1 with less than 5 minutes left. And soothes any nerves we may have had, especially when they pulled it back to 3-1 and then had that corner. But it takes a couple of touches into the box. and then just far too powerful for the keeper into the top corner. Now, straight from the kickoff, they've got the ball. And then Martinez intercepts Pascual. Back to Martinez. Infield to Goulis. Duffy with space. Finds Tala. And he gets another goal. 2 goals in a minute for Andreas Tala. And they try to pass it from the back. We intercepted it, and the extra man told in the middle of the pitch. Once Martinez plays this into Goulis, he's got time to move it on to Duffy, who's got time to take a touch, find Tala in the box, and he shoots across the keeper to make it 5-1. And there we go, full time, 5-1, and all in all, a pretty comfortable victory against the team that are bottom of the table. And there we go, the end of another episode. Season 13 started pretty well, aside from the really disappointing defeat in the league against Hearts, but we are top of the table with 2 points clear of Rangers, 5 points clear of Hearts in third. Champions League started okay. We weren't dreadful against Man City, we just couldn't score. And then we did a pretty decent job in beating Napoli in the second game as well. We're still in the Scottish League Cup, we're in the quarterfinals. We've got Celtic, who haven't had the best start to the season, so hopefully we can pick up a victory there to see us into the semi-final. But everything's going pretty well so far. Hopefully it continues. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.